does smoke.
No, I want to smoke a
Oh, yeah,
cigarette.
he does, doesn't he? Yeah. What's wrong with you?
I ain't vaping.
Okay, right, anyway.
He likes to taste the cancer.
Let's,
that's the best part. It's most delicious.
let's do this
Yeah, we'll crack on.
before it gets dark outside. Because then I'll get scared talking about Stranger Things.
That's the intro music now.
That's the theme tune.
Oh, Jesus. Hello, geeks and geekettes, and welcome to another edition of the Geekstation podcast, where we talk movies, TV shows, games, and all things geeky. I am Sinn, and as always, I am joined by my good friends David and Martin. Say hello, David and Martin.
Hello, David and Martin.
Hey, that was good.
I mean, it's been so long I can't really keep track.
It has. How long has it been? 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
Since we were all in the same room together.
No, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I had to use Google Maps to find my way here again.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well,
Really?
you do live in deep Alabama, so...
Yeah, what?
Yeah, what?
It's going to be...
I was going to roll with it and it just made no sense. I was like, yeah.
I think it might be one of those today, actually. Just, I'm feeling it. It has been 3 weeks, hasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Since
So, how's everyone been?
Yeah,
'Cause
not too
obviously
bad.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen you.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
At
Pretty
all.
good. Good
Yeah.
holiday. Santorini was fun. Athens was also fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
How was England?
It was lovely. It was England.
It was England.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same old England.
Same old, same old. I had a birthday. I'm 1 year closer to death.
That was fun.
That's how I look at things.
Jesus, this is taking a turn, isn't it?
Well, we're talking about Stranger Things, which I suppose
So,
is about
how's your
death,
relationship with your mum?
isn't it? Oh, Jesus.
Is this sort of, I thought it was just a therapy session.
Should we
now,
just
so.
go back to talking about gun crime in America?
Yeah. Well, it was England,
Or
wasn't
England,
it? Yeah.
or I
In
don't know,
London.
whatever. Anyway, this
Yeah.
is the Geekstation podcast. We're talking Stranger Things this week. Have everybody watched Stranger Things? And I'm casually looking at you.
I've watched all the Stranger Things.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. And I know you watched it.
Yeah, I
You-
watched
you're-
it.
I definitely had watched more of Stranger Things on Friday night than you did, David.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Because I started it Friday evening. I watched an episode and a half. And then when I started to watch it yesterday, I had to start from the beginning again because Jess fell asleep halfway through the first episode. So
Oh.
That
I
happens-
watched all of it yesterday. Finished at 2 a.m.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
But fortunately, it wasn't. I thought it was 13 episodes, and it's actually only 9.
Yeah, just 9 episodes.
And,
But they're all like over 45 minutes apart from one of them.
Yeah.
And I think there's like 2 that are like an
But I
hour
was
long.
like halfway through episode 8, and I was like, wow, we've got like 5 episodes to go or something. This is going to be awesome. And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, next one's the last one. I was like,
Building
really?
up, there's going to be another
But yeah,
plot
no,
line.
I don't think I could have done 13 episodes actually. 9 episodes is good. 8, 9 episodes.
I think... Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a good amount.
Yeah, just
One of the things
just
that
fine.
I was about to get into it, but then...
No. We'll get
We've got
into
time
it
to
later.
get
We
into
have.
it.
We've got some news to talk about. So let's kick off with well, it's number 1 on the list, so that's always a good place to start. With the Last of Us 2 trailer, which we've just watched. This was your addition, Martin, to the.
There was a whole bunch of PlayStation announcements.
Yeah, did they have a
in
conference?
Paris
Was there
or
like a
something?
Sony conference or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the I think the second trailer they've done for that, second big trailer for that game.
Yeah.
Featuring a lady who looks like Ellie, almost being hung, and then
So is Ellie the girl from the last one?
Ellie is the girl from the first one.
Okay, so this is potentially
She
like
is-
she's grown up.
I don't think it's her, but this
Okay.
Ellie is like immune to the cordyceps virus.
Okay.
So that's the big deal with her, and that's the story of the first game. Is they're trying to sort of get her to a place to potentially cure this virus.
Okay. I've never,
Um,
as I say, I've never played it, so I've never had a PlayStation 2 play it. So yeah,
Oh.
I know.
Well, I would suggest to invest
What in a PlayStation?
in a PlayStation.
£300 just to play a game that
PlayStation
came
4,
out like
they're
5
like
years ago.
150 quid now.
Really?
You can buy mine from me.
Actually.
I got a PS4 I'm going to sell.
Yeah, I've got. I know
And it's
you
got The
have.
Last of Us on it as well. The remastered edition.
Look, I've barely got enough time to play like games like Destiny, let alone.
I'm just saying, the
Yeah.
offer's there, 400 quid.
Yeah,
400 quid.
You get the PlayStation plus about 15 games, 2 controllers.
£400.
You're a hustler, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you
are.
work in sales?
Anyway,
Because I don't want to.
because he doesn't want to hustle
You
people.
work for Netflix.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it looked the trailer was good. It was a cinematic. It was 4.5 minutes long. It
Yeah.
didn't really seem to reveal anything other than this
Here's
is just
someone
a-
who will be in the game.
yeah, and it was quite a
think.
brutal trailer, and it's
Yeah.
had some kickback as to.
Yeah, I haven't specifically seen anyone discuss what the kickback is about, but I'm
I must
assuming
confess,
it's the hammer.
Yeah, I've seen
You're probably the hammer, yeah.
I've seen the
Probably
headlines that just say, "Is this too far for gaming trailers.
No,
and
I don't know. It's
I
like-
I don't know.
It's
No.
a pretty brutal game.
But you wouldn't. But it's interesting though, because you probably wouldn't see that type of violence in a movie trailer, though, would you?
No.
Well, maybe you would, like in a Red Band trailer.
Yeah. Well, someone breaking someone's arm with a hammer.
Yeah. I mean, remember Hostel? There was pretty brutal trailer.
Was that? I don't know. I mean,
Saw as well.
The
It really depends on the type of
the trailer
film it
for
is.
Logan, I think, had X-23 like stabbing, or no, it had Logan stabbing someone through the head, didn't it? Actually, I suppose with the claw. So that's pretty brutal. But
Yeah, I mean, as it says, it's
You do know a
type
lot
of
about the film Logan, don't you?
I know I've seen the film Logan, and I've seen the
You
trailers.
always try to
and
bring it
that's
up.
where
Every single podcast,
Jesus.
you bring it up, and
brings it back round to
And then when
Logan.
we finish
You know,
recording, you make us watch it.
There
again.
there were some things that I missed on our hiatus, and there were some things that I didn't.
I think you've recharged your batteries and
I
you're
have.
ready to
I'm
be
ready to rock and roll. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a new Marvel tattoo, and it's lovely. Right. Anyway. Let's move on. So Amazon are in talks with Warner Brothers and the Tolkien estate to bring
Oh, God,
Lord of the Rings
No, not this.
to
to
an Amazon Prime TV
to a
show.
TV show. Yeah. So this is they're anticipating that after Game of Thrones ends next year, that there's going to be a huge gap in the market for
A medieval
a-
fantasy
well,
TV show.
exactly. And
Fuck that.
well, see the thing is, I'm in two minds about it because I think I've always thought a TV show for Lord of the Rings would be absolutely amazing, and it probably would be
It should be a Samwise spin-off.
a Samwise spin-off. Well, there's
Bless up Sean Astin.
well, yeah, he's probably done with Lord of the Rings now. I
Yeah.
think they all are.
No,
but
I'm just feeling things for that actor after.
oh yeah, sure, yeah. Well, we'll don't
After
just,
watching The Goonies.
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Try not to spoil anything.
Hey.
Yeah, Martin.
You know, it's your
Okay,
boy. You
good,
can trust
yeah.
me with this.
Everyone's seen
but-
The Goonies.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
right. Anyway, but also I think that the films are so perfect. Lord of the Rings films, not the Goonie films. That I,
shit.
Singular film.
that's. I thought there were two. Is that not Goonies 2?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I've never seen them, so I wouldn't.
You've never seen The Goonies?
No, never. No.
Oh man, you're missing
Grabbed by
out.
the Goonies
okay.
is the sequel.
Anyway, can we talk about Lord of the Rings being made into a TV show?
Oh right,
So,
yeah,
guess
yeah.
that's
I don't
it.
think it needs to be done.
No.
No,
Okay. Are you not excited or interested in any way, shape, or form?
I've already seen it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I've already seen.
But I mean, those
9
films-
hours of.
But those films
Lord
are
of
now
the
like
Rings.
17 to 14 years old now, depending on which one you look. What.
They
Yeah,
still hold
yeah.
up though.
Oh,
I-
absolutely.
I think some of the CG is not great.
oh, it's
like,
fine.
You're talking
though.
about The Hobbit though, aren't you?
No, the Hobbit's awful, but no, some of the Lord of the Rings stuff isn't. I mean, it's good still, but it's
It
not.
holds up. I think it holds up.
You reckon?
It looks good enough. You go, well, this is a film from the mid 2000s. Yeah, I can
yeah.
I can get with that.
Yeah, I personally think it's not needed at all. They don't need
No.
to turn it into a TV show.
Yeah,
Right.
if we're taking the Hobbit series as anything indicative of the quality of what this will be, then I'm not.
Well, it probably
confident in that.
because it'll be a completely different studio, a completely different group of people, writers,
yeah.
actors,
Yeah, no,
producers.
absolutely. But I just
so-
feel like they really hit the nail on the head with the Lord of the Rings.
Well, that's true. They did
Because that was kind
for
of
sure.
if you take it as a self-contained thing, like they had at the start of that, they had all the liberties to sort of go with it and to sort of weave that cinematic
I
version
suppose-
of the events. Now they're restricted by everything that's
That's
come
true.
before.
I suppose a TV show runs the risk of just repeating the same stuff
Yeah,
and
and-
showing the same stuff.
Yeah, you're just going to be. Everyone's going to be comparing it to the movies
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
true.
I think it also
Yeah.
just gets very complicated with the fact that Tolkien has written this. Tolkien is no longer here, and we're going to make some stuff up. All the stuff, it's from the games that we've seen recently, but they have not inspired any confidence in people's attempts to sort of weave into this universe.
Well, you're talking about Shadow of War.
Shadow of War,
Yeah.
some of the other games.
Shadow of Mordor as well was the last one. Wasn't
No,
Shadow
Shadow,
of Mordor.
Shadow
of War is the sequel to
is the
Shadow
sequel
of
to
Mordor.
Shadow
it?
of Mordor. Yeah,
so I-
and the first one, while the first one the first game, the story could quite easily have happened in between certain books. The second game just basically goes, yeah, we'll forget about that. This is inspired by, and then just makes stuff up, and it's
Not
But
great.
I mean, for the hardcore Tolkien fans, it's crap. But
I
don't know. I haven't played it.
I
so.
like for them to stick to that stuff just because I think.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a Tolkien series with like telling other stories because there's so many other stories to be told. But yeah, I mean,
Or
as I
maybe
say, I'm in
let's
two
go
minds about
into the
it.
Silmarillion territory.
Well, maybe, yeah,
that's something that's
Or
already
a
been
cooking
written.
show where they show you how to make salted pork.
Yes, that's
and
right.
lambeth
yes.
bread.
So there we go. Yeah, so Amazon are
Potato
in
stew.
talks to make a Lord of the Rings TV show. This is interesting for the Walking Dead fans out there. The AMC CEO recently at the shareholders meeting for
There's a
AMC
lot of letters there.
I was going to say, well,
Yeah.
I had to sort of unpack what that you actually said. Then.
said of The Walking Dead, the word of the use franchise we don't use lightly. It's not a sloppy or casual word. We've studied the best. Some have been around for 30, 40 or 50 years, and we have a chance for a lot of life in the franchise. So basically, they're hinting at the fact that The Walking Dead will just go on forever. And
That's
ever.
not a good
And
idea.
ever.
Yeah, they're probably going to bring out another series.
And ever. Yeah, spin-offs and, crossovers with characters.
There's going to be a new
and-
series called Look Out, It's The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, how do we feel about this? Like, I was trying to think of other TV franchises that are still going, and the big one for me, obviously, comes to mind is Star Trek, and that's obviously been reimagined in certain ways. But The Walking Dead, you can't really reimagine that in any other way other than
They should do
they're
like
zombies.
a Zombieland comedic take. But I mean, what
Yeah, but
sort of
that's
what
unneeded.
point do you go? Okay, we're just talking about zombies here. Or what point is this specific? Like this is Walking Dead because I mean, what identifies something as the
but that's what I
Walking
mean.
Dead?
And the thing
It
with
could work well if they did it in different places rather than always in America. Say like they did one in
Okay,
like the
yeah.
heart of the Africa or something.
that's true, but I mean, but that's not
Resident Evil
likely
6.
to happen because
Yeah,
of
5.
because it's an American TV show.
Yeah, but it's
I mean,
if you're talking franchise, then
Well, yeah,
you've
possibly.
Sort
got
of thing
you
that
got to
could
dream
work.
bigger.
yeah,
because you could literally have it the case that it's people fighting zombies with just sticks and bow and arrows because they don't have the readiness of guns and
Yeah.
built up
Yeah.
areas and they've got to do
Yeah.
things like that. Or you could do places like in Russia where it's all frozen over.
That's what I'm thinking. Like
stuff like that. That could work.
it completely changes
yeah.
the sort of.
But
everything
ultimately,
about
like the themes are, you've got like the zombies to deal with, and then you've got the human element to deal with, which is obviously what the current storyline is and stuff.
Mhm.
But then after that, there's not really. I mean,
what is there left to
Well,
explore?
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Do you remember the movie Defiance? Daniel
Defiance.
Craig.
Yes,
And,
yeah.
Billy Elliot.
With the Jews hiding in the woods in World
Yeah.
War Two. Yes.
Granted, not the same as zombies and stuff, but
No.
that kind of like if they were to do it in like Russia type thing,
Like survival,
survival,
basically.
like
Yeah.
building their own shelters,
But
stuff
then-
like that
but-
with zombies coming on. That could be
But
could be
then,
interesting.
but then I feel like that could probably be hit in the next couple of seasons of, or already has been hit with Walking Dead. I don't know. It's just like the series has already gone on for coming up to 8 years. Plus, it's already got a spin-off show, which is hitting its 3rd season. So
Yeah, I
that's
think
like
it's-
effectively 11 years already worth of material that they've covered.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like
No, I think
Finish
the
already.
first season was only 6 episodes. So.
Yeah, well, no, but do you know what I mean? Like, there's not, as you say. I mean, unless they do go something like that, I don't know.
they need to change the setting.
But
is the
50
only thing
years
that I can
is
see.
pretty. I don't know. That's
I
pretty
don't
ambitious,
see.
think.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
zombies was like a very much a thing of like the early 2010s. It was like zombies were everywhere.
They've
And
already
then
shown
now
that,
we're kind of getting out of that. I would say.
They've already shown that the zombies decompose over time as well. So
Yeah, and every season something. Yeah,
Yeah,
Have you
they're
seen
always
that?
a little bit more
Yeah, which I quite like.
decrepit.
There's
So
a
they
big,
can only go on for so long until
that's
they're
it.
just
and there's a fan theory which is actually that there's a guy that does all the maths to it and how long it like flesh decays and all of this, and he's worked out that there is actually only 2 more seasons left based on the rate
way
of the
time
decay,
passes.
and the rate of decay of the zombies and stuff like that. So be interesting to see what they do. Talking about something that's do.
I didn't want to, but
Yeah, there you go. Talking about things that are probably going to go on forever. Lucasfilm president has said that Star Wars will continue with the new cast after the third in the latest trilogy, and they've got plans, or they are planning for at least the next 10 years of Star Wars films.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's a franchise that is probably just never going to die now. Now Disney have got their money
hooks
clause into it. That's
it was
yeah.
really nice. It was good one time, wasn't it?
It still is.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
a huge
excited,
Star
but
Wars
like
fan.
once we get beyond episode 9,
Yeah.
I am going. I don't know what they want to do.
Well, obviously episode 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, but how?
Well, they
how
could
far
do
you
-1,
take it?
-2, and -3.
That's true.
They
Yeah,
do like to
episode
flip it around a
nine.
bit.
prequels, that's right. Yeah.
Episode 0.
Um,
How about that?
Episode 9.36.
So talking about Star Wars, so Daisy Ridley has spoken about Rey's origins, which we may well discover in the next film, because she said this. She said, "Whatever is the answer, I just hope that the moment everyone finds out is an enjoyable experience for viewers, and that even though I've known the answer for several years now, to be honest, I was very moved, and I think it will be a very moving moment for everyone else as well." So I think there's.
I thought they've
probably
already
might be a
said that
big-
they're not going to tell you in this.
I don't know whether she was just talking. I think just in general because there was something. Who's the guy that plays Kylo Ren?
Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver.
Yeah, so there's lots of headlines that I've avoided clicking on the internet that say apparently he has potentially revealed her origin. So I don't know if it is.
So it could all be
actor.
clickbait as well.
Well-
So you don't want to give
Well,
them money.
that's true, but I have seen it on several
That's a
different
win-win.
sites. Well, that's it.
He
yeah,
said
yes
something
for
that's
me.
slightly indicative that the internet has picked up on that.
Well, yeah, but it's been picked up by several different websites. So I think
Exactly.
it may actually be.
But that's the thing. That's what happens a lot of the time. Someone will write some like crazy story,
Yeah.
like based on like a hunch that they've got, and then someone said a word and they run with it. And
Adam
then
Driver's
five or
gone-
six other websites will run with that as well.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
They'll
true.
just
Yeah,
quote
that-
It's the
Yeah,
same
that's
quote.
true.
It's the
Yeah.
same
Yeah,
quote it's coming
probably.
from. He's probably said, "Yeah, she's come from, I don't know,
the
pregnancy.
land down under. Oh, okay.
the
land down under.
There we
She's
go.
like, crikey."
But yeah, so I think
She's Steve Irwin.
Jesus.
She's like petting the little like animals that come from that island. Like,
Yeah,
doing a
she
little
had
nature
little friends,
show.
isn't she? Yeah. So
Is she the new Attenborough? Is that what this is?
I don't know.
God, give me some answers. Sin.
Sorry,
Sid,
I
I thought
don't-
you
on
knew
the
the answers to
article.
all of
I
this.
don't know anything, I'm afraid. But I have a friend that works, I think I've said this before, at ILM, and I may have also said this, but I was chatting to her on Facebook the other day, and she was saying that she's now the film's completely finished, and that she's really looking forward to people for seeing it. 'Cause apparently it is.
Are we going to get
Very, very
a exclusive show?
I don't know, maybe. So currently she's working, she's only effectively a temp. They're just waiting to give her a permanent contract, and she's had a better offer from another animation studio. So
What's your friend's name?
I'm not saying. So
Okay.
if she...
So Sin's friend, if
so-
you want to get in touch with me, let me know. I'll go see the movie. They don't have to come with me. I can
Well,
just
no.
go.
What I'm saying is that
mean-
if ILM do drop her and don't give her a permanent contract, we may well find.
So there's going to be a position opening up. ILM, if you want to get hold of me,
He has no animation experience whatsoever.
no, but I'm funny.
Yeah, and he wears gold suits and has Netflix money,
Exactly,
so he could
yeah.
just give.
Yeah, I'll give you a gold suit if you let me work. For
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So anyway, my favourite type of news next. You know what's coming. So DC are waiting to see how Justice League.
How excited
performs.
he is.
Yeah, I know.
He is
He's
twitching.
bouncing in his chair.
That's right. DC are waiting to see how the Justice League performs before putting more money and work into The Flash, Man of Steel 2, and the Cyborg solo film. So yeah, they're obviously they're not too sure themselves. Obviously,
That is always that you know, you go to see a good film. If the studio bigs it up, you know it's going to be
well,
bad.
I
So
think
the other way around.
They've
it's gonna
already
be great,
predicted
right?
an opening weekend in America of over 100 million.
Well, yeah, but you know, I predict that it's going to open.
But that's based on like pre-sales and things like that as well. Though,
Yeah,
so
I predict I'm going to win the lottery also. So.
I predict a riot.
Oh, there you go. You got in
Kaiser
there.
Chiefs, this guy.
But yeah, I mean, so that's what I mean. Like they're obviously thinking, well, let's look at what the other films have done. They haven't been.
I'm
very
actually
good.
quite excited to see how bad this will be.
Well,
I don't think it's going to be as bad as you're
I
hoping.
really do think
All
it
the
is.
signs are there. All the signs.
Even
are
if
there.
I hate it, I'm gonna run with how brilliant it is, and then I'm gonna make you guys love it.
Okay, sure,
This
sure.
is probably a bad mentality to go into the film with, I understand, but it's just none of the signs are good.
Even Henry Cavill has said that
I don't know.
even if the Marvel films didn't exist, we'd struggle. There was a style that DC were going for, an attempt to be different, to make things look from a slightly different perspective, which hasn't necessarily worked. Yes, it has made money, but it has not been a critical success.
So in other words, he's blaming Scott Snyder.
He's basically just gone, yeah, you know, I accept that these films are a bit pants. You know, I don't know. I just like if even the stars now. Lawrence Fishburne did it earlier in the year. Gal Gadot said as well that she didn't understand why Wonder Woman was in Batman vs Superman and stuff like that. Like they're even the actors now and are kind of going, yeah, actually these films aren't quite as good as Marvel. So, you know,
It's huge.
Well, maybe they're not.
Vindicated.
Maybe they're not saying not as good as Marvel. Maybe they're just saying that they should have gone in a different direction.
well, which is kind of what they're doing now, isn't it? With making these DC Elseworld films that they're going to start doing. They're going to just scrap the cinematic universe and, you know, just tell other stories. Other
Like
comic
here's a
book stories.
collection of stories that you can
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, and just confuse all the casual viewers. So you
No
know,
one needs a linear storyline.
No. Who needs that? Anyway, so there we go. So that's the news. Anything else that anybody would like to add? Anything exciting that's happened to anybody?
Kevin Spacey's a dickhead.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
So
yeah,
we're going to get
that's-
into this.
No, I just wanted to say
no,
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I saw what's the lead actor in Baby Driver, Ansel. something.
Ansel Elgort.
Yeah. His official Facebook page said something like, he just did a post of him, of like a picture of Kevin Spacey on set touching him and saying like, I don't like you, Kevin Spacey, or something. It was like
Really?
the weirdest bit of like social media
Interesting.
I've seen from any actor.
We spoke about this when about Baby Driver last week because it was when I watched it. But have you seen Baby Driver?
No, not yet.
It's really, really good.
Very good.
Very good film. Yeah. So and Kevin Spacey's really good in it. But then Kevin Spacey's really good in everything he's in.
It's going to be really good in prison as well.
Well, yeah. If it goes that far, who knows? You know. But so yes. So there we go. That was the news. Dum 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 dum.
Pom, pom.
News.
Jesus, that was
Great.
brilliant. That was the best one so far. I might actually keep
It's
that
because
one.
you got involved.
Yeah, well, there we go. Who
Yeah.
knows?
You should start them all off. You choose the tempo, choose the time we've
Choose
got to
a
go
key
with.
as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, let's talk about what we're here to talk about, which is the Stranger Things. Stranger Things 2. I didn't actually realise that they called it Stranger Things 2, which
Yeah.
I actually think is really cool. So presumably the third and fourth are going to
Feels
be
like
Stranger
very
Things
80s
6
film.
and 7.
Six, that's right, yeah. But no, it's almost like a film sequel rather than a series sequel, which I just think series don't do that, and I think that's really cool that they have.
Yeah,
Anyway, so Stranger Things came out, was it a week and a bit ago?
Yep, on the 27th of October.
That's
Was that a Friday?
27th, 8th, 9th. Yeah, sounds about right. There were 9 episodes in the series, and it tells the continuing story of what's the town that they're in? Hawkins, that's it. And
Indiana?
the 4,
Yeah.
and then the 4 kids plus 11 and the new kid on the block,
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
and they're continuing. I was going to say adventures, but it's I suppose the continuing horror that is living in a town that
It's been stricken by some
where
otherworldly...
the upside down is invading.
Yep.
So we'll try and do non-spoilers.
I think we should just jump straight into
spoilers.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
a whole series, and if we
okay.
want to start mentioning something from 3 or 4 episodes down the line
That's
that
true.
we think is quite important.
and also Martin can't be trusted.
I
oh yeah,
just
Martin can't be
can't.
trusted. Yeah.
I can't. I just need to bring in examples and talk about.
That's
this,
okay. So spoiler warning then. If you haven't seen Stranger Things 2, go and see it because it is very good.
And if you're listening to this and you haven't watched Stranger Things 2,
What are you
probably
doing here?
Yeah.
just
What are you
go
doing
just
here?
go watch it.
Let's
and then-
go.
and it is very good. Yes, we'll just say that.
Yeah.
It is worth going to see.
I like this.
Okay, good. Martin likes it. Gets
I
the Martin
like
stamp of
this.
approval. Okay, so let's just go straight in. So, Martin, you hadn't watched the first one up until a
No.
couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah.
So, what did you find going into like watching both of them back to back? Have you had
It was good to sort of remember everything. I mean,
Yeah.
normally when I watch a series and then you have your year break and you come back to it, there's a little bit of rust in terms of your knowledge. But I mean, watching this, we pretty much finished the final episode of the previous series, and the next day it was out, so we watched the first episode.
See, I would have loved to have done that.
Yeah,
That would
it's
have
good
been
to see.
really
I mean, we went for a meal like the night before as well. After we watched the final episode or something, and like there was this waitress.
Waitress.
Yeah, right. Waitress at our table, and we were like talking about Stranger Things, and she was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait! I've been waiting a year." And we were like, "Yeah, that's not really something we'd actually thought about." But yeah, it's really good to go into it because I prefer to binge everything kind of back to back and have it there anyway.
So, David, would you enjoy it? You had fun with it?
I enjoyed every single moment of it. I'm going to go out on a limb and make a bold comment, and I say that this is almost the perfect second season that's ever been put
Yeah,
out.
no,
Ooh.
sure. Yeah, if you're talking
Ooh.
about sequels, it is very, very good.
It's very good. It's very good.
It builds very well on what they established in the first film. It
Mm.
sets it up potentially for more stuff in the future. There's great, fantastic character development with
Yeah,
a lot of
Every
characters.
single character.
Yeah, and not just
There was only
in the...
2 parts of the second season that I wasn't a massive fan of.
Okay, go on.
I wasn't a massive fan of what's his name? Mike in the first few episodes.
So
which
which one's Mike?
Mike
the
is Eleven's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Eleven's boyfriend. Oh right, yeah. Okay,
I wasn't
sure,
a massive
yeah.
fan of him in the first few episodes, but I understood why.
Yeah.
But I just think they kind of went on with it a bit too much because I get that he misses her and he wants to see her.
Yeah,
and
that's the only part of his character at the start of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
particularly because it's been a year and he's
Yeah.
kind of still
I felt
going
for him though.
on,
Like at the end of the
yeah.
first, this is kind of where it came in for me watching the first series. At the end of the first series, I was like, Mike is one of my favorite characters in this, and
Yeah.
I really felt for him when 11 was gone and all that whole stuff. So to see that, I was like, oh, I paid pain for you, Mike.
Did it remind you of when your girlfriend went to Thailand?
Yes, very much so. So she didn't disappear with an otherworldly demon.
Yeah, she was upside down though.
She was upside down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't think about that one.
Yes, I wasn't a massive fan of that. I completely understood why. I just think they could have not kind of focused on it as much.
Well, one of the things I think I'm not a fan of some of the developments they had, but they have a lot more characters now. I think the screen time is kind of limited with what they can do.
But you see, that's what I really liked
concise
about it though, was because, as I say, like they built not only just on what the characters were in the first one, and they made them just better and just added
grew
on.
as people.
Yeah,
as well.
That's it. Yeah. But also they brought in new characters, and they weren't like Mad Max. Didn't feel like she was like just pushed in.
She wasn't forced in.
That's it. It was a natural progression. Her big brother or step brother was
Billy
was a little bit awkward, but actually in the end you kind of realise that actually no, he's there for a reason, and that actually all worked out quite well as well. I thought it was good. It was.
Do you know why you recognise him?
You're going to tell me.
He was the Red Ranger in the new Power Rangers.
Oh yes, I did actually hear that. Yeah, I think on another popular podcast that we both listened to.
I haven't listened to that yet.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was on the Beyond Stranger Things thing.
Oh, I watched the first like 10 minutes of Beyond Stranger Things, and my mind was blown when I realised that the actress that plays 11 was English.
Yeah.
I had
and
no
Charlie
idea.
Heaton was like northern sounding, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's not allowed in America at the moment.
Is he not?
No,
because he landed in LAX with cocaine on him, allegedly.
Yeah,
nice.
Cocaine on him,
Boy.
and then he got deported.
What is he doing?
Yeah, well, he's 23.
Well, not filming Stranger Things season 3.
Like,
that's
seeing his actor as well talk. I was like, you are kind of very far from what Jonathan is.
Yeah,
like you're a pretty cool like English guy as opposed to this like awkward American like big brother who doesn't really have any friends. It's quite weird.
He doesn't like people.
He doesn't like people. No. He likes to listen to talking heads and read whatever the fuck that was in that scene.
So let's
Vonnegut.
Let's go through the story anyway, and we'll try and hit some beats, and we'll try and talk about stuff that we liked. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's set a year after, almost exactly a year after. It's Halloween to Halloween, isn't it? Mm-hmm. After the first one, and the boys have got back to their usual lives. We discover that them and their families and everyone that was involved in last year's shenanigans have all been they're all under non-disclosure agreements, and if they talk to anyone they're going to go to jail and stuff.
Watched all the time.
Yeah, which I thought was quite a nice way to just this is why we're not talking about it, because we're not allowed to talk about it.
Did Mike's parents know about what happened? I can't remember if they did or not.
No.
Well, no, but they got there was that scene, wasn't there?
Yeah, because obviously everyone came in and was asking
there was that's actually a really cool scene when the soldier or the government guy is talking to his dad, and he's like, you can't tell anyone. He's like, yes, sir, I'm a good, solid American.
In this house.
That's right. Yeah, I just thought that was just brilliant because that's just his character so well.
Yeah.
And we don't really know what's happened to 11. I actually thought this was interesting. Actually, just while I remember it, so I thought at the end of the last episode. No, at the end of the last series, sorry. There's a bit where the copper,
Hooper. Did I say Hooper? Because you said copper, and I was like,
I think it's because in my head I thought it was, I knew it was Hooper, and I just came out. But yeah, the cop, he placed the Eggos in the box. Now I thought that
was just a touching tribute to someone who's died.
Well, see, I thought that was somehow connected to the Upside Down, and that 11 was still trapped there. But obviously they knew that she'd escaped or something, which it still wasn't they didn't really talk about how he knew that she had escaped.
It was probably because the hunter that was walking around, and he had a piece of wood thrown at his face. He probably reported that to the police. And
yeah, sure.
So the little girl was in the forest and threw a rock at me.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't. Yeah. It was the only bit of the story that didn't really connect with me. But no, I thought it was. So we discovered that 11 has broke out pretty soon after the end of the first series.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's potentially a bigger threat, which is the connection with Will.
Mm-hmm.
Who is an incredible actor as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on that because his acting is amazing, but I don't like what they did with his character or how little they kind of sought to explore him. Even though situationally there's not really much you can do, but he feels like in the first series you're like, oh, it's all about Will, but then Will actually turns up and you're like, oh, where do we put Will? He's just sort of with the guys.
But you see, I think it's quite because in the first one it was all about Will, but we didn't see him, and I think in the second one it's all about Will, and all we see is him just being taken over by a demon, and it's like or
Spazzing out all
whatever,
the
and
time.
it's just like this poor guy is like.
I do hope in series 3 that they don't focus on that, like,
Yeah.
and that he's just part of the gang.
Yeah,
he's
no,
not,
so do
he's
I.
not being
Actually.
hunted.
I don't think they will because I think they've. Because I listened to a podcast with the Duffer Brothers,
Which the Nerdist one.
Yeah, the Nerdist
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it was really, really good. They seem like they know what they're doing with the story
Yeah.
and they know where they're going. And
I thought it was really, really clever, or quite funny, that they were like taking the piss out of people saying, I want something different for the second season.
Yes.
But I want it the same.
But I want it-
But I
yes.
don't want it to be too different, but I
Yeah.
don't want it to be too the same.
yeah.
So
And that's
whatever
like
you want.
they almost like hit that perfectly as
Yeah,
well.
well, they
Yeah.
did. It's very much like Aliens, which is kind of like it's a different genre of film. It's like an action instead of a horror, but it still hits all those notes that you want, and it's still got the same terror and the same suspense, but just in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And they definitely did that with this series.
Mhm.
It was we'll tell almost like a bigger story almost. Something much, like last time it was like, there was a little hole and there was like one monster and he's easily defeatable.
Yeah,
And in this
yeah.
one, it's like, well, actually, no, the hole's huge, as we
Yeah.
discover, and that
But
actually
they were
now-
just at the top of it, though, weren't they? 'Cause
that's
they
it,
just had the peak.
which I just thought was brilliant. And when they go down in the lift and you just see, and you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like yeah. So I'm just trying to flick through. I'm on the episode guide here. Just trying to think of stuff. What did we think to Elle's kind of subplot story?
Yeah, that's the other part I wasn't a massive
Yeah.
fan of, is
That
like going
episode where-
to New York and...
I don't-
Or was it New York? No, Chicago, sorry.
I don't think a lot of people were fans of that. From what
Yeah,
I'm
for
getting
me,
from
like
internet.
the way it sort of, I mean, everything building up to it, like you're having all this really interesting stuff happening with Hop and the gang and everyone like that, and then she kind of gets left at her mum's house, and you're like, oh, what's going on here? Because that's one of my other complaints about this, is that they didn't juggle between the different plot lines as well as they'd done in the first series, and then we kind of just snap back to Elle and we're like, okay, this is all happening now, and then we have a whole episode about that stuff and her in Chicago, and it was like it told the point well enough. She needed to learn how to control her powers better to sort of close the gate at the end, but I think it probably went on for a bit too long for my sort of liking.
I mean,
was-
her and her mum's... The plot with her and her mum, I liked. I thought that was really well
that
done.
stuff was.
It was just a
was
bit when she
sad.
went to Chicago, I just wasn't a massive fan of. I
Yeah.
thought it was a bit unnecessary, and it kind of, granted, we knew that she wasn't the only one because
Yeah.
got number 11.
and presumably we're going to find out, the other, maybe see the other numbers at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe, but I do think that it was probably a bit unnecessary to go to Chicago. I didn't think
Yeah.
that those characters really did anything.
No, and
I
they're
didn't really like any of them.
and they're only in
No.
it for like an episode, and that's it.
Yeah,
Or
there was.
probably,
Yeah, there obviously it was in the opening
yeah,
for the season,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
it was in like episode 7 or something like that.
yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think that was really necessary. I didn't like them as characters, like the fact that they were going around killing people but calling
Yeah.
themselves the good guys as well.
Yeah.
It just seemed a bit shit.
Yeah.
Um,
I liked 11 and Hopper.
their relationship was
I
phenomenal.
great.
really good.
Great.
So good, yeah.
Yeah.
That whole father-daughter relationship really works
Yeah,
really well.
I was trying to think what happened. It wasn't until he was having the conversation with her in the van, like the penultimate episode or the last episode or whatever, that I realised that his wife and his daughter were killed at some point. And
Yeah.
But I completely forgot that bit, so I couldn't. Yeah, but and then now going back and seeing and remembering it all, I kind of.
I just like that he now has a reason to like get up in the morning
Yes.
as well.
yeah.
Like, and it really shows that he's trying to be better at a policeman, trying to be better as like a human
Yeah.
as well. Because
Yeah.
before he was, the first time you saw him in the first season, he woke up hungover, drunk some more beer and smoked
Yeah.
cigarettes, and then
And he's
went to
kinda
work
like-
really late.
Oh, this
Didn't care about
kid is
anything.
missing, and he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, your kid will turn up. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think he kind of has the majority of that progression in the first series, but in this one, he really sort of grows as into this sort of father figure and a protector for almost all the people involved with the incident with the Upside Down and everything like that, which is quite good.
Yeah, and Steve's character was really good in the. I'm just
great.
What did you do
You're
to
just
that?
making noises on the with
Because
the
I
mic.
was
making
watching you
noises.
talking, and as it was slowly going down, you were following it.
Oh, my face follows
just
the
yeah,
pop filter.
just adjusting the pop
okay.
filter.
Okay.
No, leave it like that.
Leave
Perfect.
it.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's my
We're not
kind
going to
of
cut that bit
thing,
out.
isn't it?
No, we're not. Well, we can't because we were talking. You were talking. You know, we were just
Oh, okay, that's
anyway.
true.
But it's fine. So there was this whole bit when there's the blight that's hitting the pumpkin patches, and Hopper goes to investigate it. I can't remember. He falls in, doesn't he? Or he
digs him out.
that's it. He
down.
digs in, yeah. And
Because he goes, the vines.
that's it.
and he
You
leaves
realise
the
that
house.
there's all these tunnels and stuff, and that's when you kind of start to think that, oh, okay, they're really upping the stakes here. And you obviously, for the viewer, it's like suddenly, oh, the upside down world has come to the real world, which is kind of.
I think one of the cool things about that, I was watching the after show, and they mentioned the fact that, at the start they're playing Dig Dug, and they talk about Dig Dug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Digging tunnels.
Yeah.
And it thematically links to that.
Yeah,
And it's all about
yeah.
that. And I was like, oh my God, you've done it again.
There's an episode called Dig Dug. as
Yeah.
well.
I
One
think
of the
that's the
episodes is
episode where
called-
he actually goes
I'm pretty sure
into
it
the
is.
tunnel. Yeah.
Well, there's
Yeah.
that beautiful camera movement with the upside down as well, where he's in that tunnel and it's
Oh,
where
yeah.
it flips upside
Yeah.
down or it comes from upside down.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of that camera movement in it. I thought was
There were lots of
Great.
really cool moments where it flipped to the upside down from the real world,
Yeah.
which I really liked, particularly the very very last scene of the entire episode.
Oh God.
When they kind of it pans out and then flips, or literally goes.
Well, yeah,
does
it's kind
it
of
flip,
at the.
or does it go?
It goes from the snowball, the sign, and then it kind of flips. Then and
That's
it pans
it.
out to the sort of the gym, and then you have the.
and then you have the soul
upside down version
flare
of that.
at the
And
top.
then and then partway through, and then at the end you see the lost smoke monster as well.
Well, the soul flare. Yeah,
Is that what
Mind
they call
flare.
it?
that was him. Yeah, the
Mind
mind
flare.
flare. Sorry,
Mind
mind
flare.
flare. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Actually, on the mind flare, there was that absolutely fantastic scene when they're all round Will's house, and they're going. He's flicking through the D&D books,
Yeah.
and he's like, "This is what it is." And
How
then-
do you kill it? Oh yeah, you got to summon the army of the dead because they don't have brains, so they can't.
and he
can't
just
take
kind
it
of
over.
and he just tails off.
Yeah, and he's like, it's
He's
just
like-
a story, guys.
And Hopper's just like, what the fuck, guys? We
Why are
can't
we
just be
listening
working
to
with
this?
a D&D book.
Yeah, I just thought that was absolutely fantastic. The kids again were absolutely superb in this. I particularly, I mean, Dustin is the obvious kind of
Yeah.
comic relief favorite character.
What's
but
his actor's name? He's got a really great name. It's like
let's have a look.
Gayton Matarazzo. Or
That's
something.
exactly it. Yeah,
Nice.
spot on. Yeah, that's right. He's just brilliant. I mean,
He continues to be, well, I think now he came out on top at the end, especially with the final scene with Steve and all that. And
Yes.
and
I think he's got a future ahead of him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably all the kids have because they're very good. But I mean, 11 particularly.
Yeah, 11 and...
Millie Bobby
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown. There
that
we go.
sounds like a really deep South name.
It does,
It
yeah.
sounds like a 70s jazz musician
Yeah, it does. You're right.
And now
yeah.
introducing
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown.
on the jazz flute.
But no, they were great. I was just trying to think. Is it Lucas and Dustin? The two they're kind of because they kind of go off on their own story.
Yeah.
While
They're having the love triangle with Max.
yeah, that's it. And I thought that was just so well done because when you've got kids and you're doing that, unless the story is brilliant, the script is brilliant, and the kids are good at acting,
Yeah.
it can get really cringeworthy really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, their relationship also has to be authentic in a way.
That's
being
what I mean.
kids.
Yeah, and they just nailed it. Like they were so good at everything, and it didn't. There wasn't a moment where I was like, "Oh, this is a bit kind of." It was just. It was perfect. Like it was. Yeah, really good. And I love the bit where they go when they're pursuing. What did he call his demo dog?
Dart.
Darts.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
D'Artagnan.
Where they think they're going to find darts, and they're at the junkyards, and that whole scene with him and Mad Max and the brother.
What?
Not
the brother? Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
Steve-O.
Yeah, he was like, just
he's
pretend
not
like you
brother,
don't
yeah.
care. And then
That's
he
that's
just
it.
pushes her further away.
His progression as a character is probably one of my favourite across both of those series.
Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Starts out as like the jock.
Yeah,
And now
sure.
he's like another protector figure for the kids, and he's like really.
It's because he's starting to realise that there's more important things in the world than high school, which is why he
and
doesn't
hair.
care about
High
being.
school and hair.
Well, no, hair's still important to him.
Hair is still important,
But he doesn't care about being the big dog on high school like he did before.
Yeah,
and like
he's
when
not
that
Yeah, true.
when fucking the Red Ranger comes in and
Billy.
Red Ranger.
Billy, yeah. comes in and he's like, "Oh, you're supposed to be the big dog, but you don't do anything." And then he like,
yeah,
you know,
I'm looking for this King Steve that everyone's talking about. And
because he realizes there's more important things in the world than trying to be good at high school, trying to be important and big.
and that's why I kind of felt like hard done by with like Jonathan and Nancy's relationship. Like they're obviously set up to sort of gravitate towards one another, but Steve has this wonderful development, and I genuinely liked his character really by the end. And I was like, and he gets nothing for this.
Yeah, but I don't think Nancy's right for him though.
No.
And I also I have a
something.
feeling he's probably. My guess would be in season 3 he's probably going to be the person that ends up sacrificing himself or something like that.
I thought that was going to kind of happen.
I honestly think he's probably going to become a police officer.
He's the next Hop.
Sure,
yeah, and start working with him because the police officers they got there aren't very good, and so Hop's going to want some treat. And I think that might, because he's obviously talking about like failing school and probably not going anywhere, and he could work for his dad. But I think he's probably going to become a police officer.
Yeah.
That would be a good development.
Yeah. I like the fact that this time round the people at the lab weren't the bad guys, and that actually that the doctor, the lead scientist, is actually a nice guy.
Though, as well.
Well, that's the thing. They do that whole. Actually, no, he could be. Look at this, because he's just spoken to him, and they're watching them all on the cameras, and then. But actually, in the end, he turns out to be a really nice guy, and I just thought that was really nice. That was just completely subverting everything that you're expecting, or the government has to be the bad guys, and they have to be covering it up and stuff. And actually, no, they're actually trying to make things better.
Yeah,
this
like
time
even non-characters, like you're talking about the scientists, they've got progression in the second season because they're not just the same villain again.
That's it.
And even the Upside Down's a different villain. Even the Demogorgons,
yes. Well,
the Demodogs are a different villain.
But that's what I like, because that's escalating it. So we had what we learn is that is actually just another creature from the Upside Down. In the first one, you think, oh, that is the bad guy, but actually no, they're a dime a dozen type thing. Whereas in this one, and I wonder if in season 3 and season 4 there'll be something even bigger. Can
you get physically bigger than that mind?
Well, I don't know.
I was really impressed at that reveal scene when Will's having all these like flash sort of to the other side, and then he looks up and there's this like huge like. I like the idea of a villain that is incomprehensibly larger than your average human, and when that was revealed, I was like, "This is brilliant."
There was a great. We'll talk about Sean Astin's character in a moment, because we have to talk about him. But there was that bit where he's talking to Will, and he's saying like, I used to have a dream, and I used to have the dream, and there was the clown, and actually, do you know how I stopped it? I turned around and I said, "No, go away." So then when Will's having his whatever he's having, he turns around and says, "Stop it, go away," and it just completely backfires on him.
Terrible advice.
Yeah. I just thought that was just
and
so
at that
good.
point you're going like, oh, is Sean Astin a villain? Like, what is?
Yeah, well, so
I never thought that.
So no, I did. If I'm honest, I actually thought in the first couple of episodes, in fact, right up until that episode that when they're in the lab and he actually becomes a hero, I actually thought that he was a plant from the government.
I never thought that. That
really?
Never came across my mind.
He was just too nice. That was the thing. I was like, you're being too nice here.
He just
and
is
there's
nice.
moments where he's trying to get to know the kids. And obviously, looking back on it, you're like, oh no, he was actually just a really nice guy, just wanting to get to know the kids.
He's just like, genuine nerdy, like.
Well, that's it. But
bloke.
But there's bits, and I think it was done deliberately. I mean, I'm ashamed that you didn't pick up on that, because maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just me just looking for the bad
Maybe
guys.
you guys just always think everyone's bad.
Well, maybe that's what it is. But,
you're just looking for the twist.
But there was just moments where he was like, oh, I'll talk to Will and I'll do this and I'll do that, and I was like, Are you bad? Are you? But yeah,
that's the thing. Though sometimes, depending on what I'm watching. If I know that there's going to be a twist, I'm always looking for one. But the first season didn't really have a twist in it for me. To my knowledge, I can't remember there being a big plot twist.
No, I don't think. Yeah.
So I didn't. I didn't think to look out for one in this.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And I don't think there was really. Was there in this one either?
No. So to me, that's why I didn't go looking for one. I didn't.
No, I suppose that's true. And I suppose again, that just shows that I think that's one of the reasons why it's so successful as well. Is because it doesn't. It doesn't go along the normal formula. It obviously hits the tropes and the beats of what you're expecting from horror and from sci-fi and things like that. But
it's more of a thriller
and a thriller, but it's a bit of everything. That's what I really, and that's I think actually that's what they touched on in that interview that we listened to, is actually that they're not trying to just make the same stuff over and over. They're actually trying to go, well, this is what we like, and that's let's see how we can make this different.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, the
Yeah.
second series is just as good, if not better, than the first, and hopefully that will continue. And we won't have to have, there's a big... There's no... They do hooks at the end of episodes, but not really kind of like, this is the hook, so you must watch the next episode.
Because they know it's already been... It's being
whole
released.
thing is a hook.
That's it.
Because they touch on in the interview that when they were writing for TV rather
Yes.
than for Netflix, they have to write it in like 4 segments
That's
for each
right,
episode
yeah.
because there's
You can have a
adverts.
climax every 15 minutes or every
and they're
10
like,
minutes.
we
or
don't need
whatever.
to do that. We can
Yeah.
just write a story that we really love, and we can just
Yeah.
work from that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. We missed. So yeah, what did we?
We've
so
missed a lot so far.
So Sean Astin's character, bless
He's
him.
just great. He's just great.
So he was the love interest of Winona Ryder. What was it? Bill?
Bob.
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 Yeah, the
There
most
we
boring
go.
name there is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a bit of a nerd.
Works at Radio Shack.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, founder of the AV club that the boys are obviously.
He knows
members
basic.
of. He knows basic.
That's
Yeah,
such
that was
a good scene.
that was
Isn't it?
brilliant.
He's like, does anyone on basic? No.
Hey.
Well, I guess it's just me then.
Yeah, you kind of what I really loved about his character was, I mean, apart from obviously the fact that he didn't turn out being bad because I thought he was, but he starts off, you think he's going to be a bit wet and a bit of a coward and all of this, and actually he has that heroic moment.
I
But
knew
yeah.
that the heroic moment was going to come, and I honestly thought it was going to be the part where Mike ran. You know when obviously Will's in the hospital, and then Mike's like, "It's a trap. He's a spy."
yeah,
And he tried running through the police officers. I honestly thought at that moment Bob was just gonna punch one of the police
Yeah.
officers so
Sure.
Mike could get through. I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm glad
Yeah.
it happened the way that it did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly.
no, it was good.
Did either of you catch on the? Obviously, you've never seen Goonies, but did you catch the Goonies reference?
No.
You know when they bring Bob in to like look at the tunnels that have been drawn up. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"What is this? A treasure map? We're going to find pirate treasure at the end of it."
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that was cool because I again that was another subversion of what you were expecting, because you think that when Will's drawing all the bits that he's drawing, you think he's just drawing the monster. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when Winona Ryder does her last season, it was the Christmas lights, and
Yeah.
this
And
season
that's
it
what I
was
was
the
thinking at the start of the season. I was like, when that happened, I was like,
Did
oh,
you
is this
see
just
that
a bit like...
Jonathan picked up the Christmas lights as well.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
when they were
yeah.
clearing out the thing,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you realise actually as they start putting it all on the walls and stuff, you're like, oh wait, no, this is actually something else. And I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that it was the tunnels, but it was a nice
Yeah,
way that they
I didn't know
revealed
where
it.
the tunnels were though, because obviously
No.
Will kept seeing the tunnels. He didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
in his
sure.
now memories.
Yes,
Um,
yeah,
but-
no,
This is all before
Yeah, I didn't
Hop
realize
goes
that
off.
the tunnels would be direct. And still when Hop started like digging, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that makes
there you
sense.
go, yeah.
But I just didn't know where he was going with that. I thought there might
Yeah.
have just been like invisible vines or actual vines going around the place. But
And he died in a really obvious way as well, which was kind of just. But it was a good death. I felt like it was. He made it out. He stops. You're like,
Yeah.
it was either going to be that or he was going to like lock the door so they could all
yes, that's
escape.
yeah. And it was,
Yeah.
but it was that moment where he came out and he was just panting, and I was,
just looks
but we
at
were
Joyce.
both just screaming at the TV like,
Yeah.
please move.
They did the whole
Please
the whole
move,
Yeah.
move.
Go.
they did the classic thing where obviously when he finished doing the whatchamacallit with the computer, then he walked off and they zoomed into the gun that he left behind.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't make him try and reach for his
Yeah,
gun.
th-
So that was a good,
yes.
that was a little clever little thing, because I hate that about that TV programs and movies when they zoom into
Yeah.
the thing that they've left behind.
You're going to remember this for later.
I'd rather that shouting into the microphone. I'd rather that they got to the point where he needed it, went to reach for it, and then they kind of showed them
Yeah.
where it was. Like I think, but I
No.
imagine that's been done.
But I know what you mean. But again, it's that. This is why I think it's so
Chekhov's
good.
gun. That's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
they're like, here, don't forget this because this is going to be important later on.
Yeah.
But then actually, it wasn't important at
Yeah,
all.
that was
and
clever.
even if he'd had it, it wouldn't have made a difference. Which I just thought.
Looking at the effectiveness of most of the guns in that series, you kind of go, well...
Well,
based
apart
on
from the
that.
last episode.
Well,
when
yeah,
they're- when they're on
that's kind of one of the things as well. Like he's picking off like the demo dogs, like with the same rifle that was ineffective in saving Bob.
but it was a lot like like classic arcade video games where they're like you face one way, you shoot one, you face another way,
It's like
you
a
shoot
Time
one,
Crisis
and then
game
you
or
run
some
out.
shit.
Yeah, Time Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me like that a lot, and I was like, that could work as
Yeah.
a game.
that was a really good final scene as well. That was really good. I like
Yeah.
I like the the three different places, and they're doing this and doing
And
this.
it all
and
happened
then,
at the same time,
yeah, that was good. But also, like, it built up, and it was suspenseful as well, because you're like, even though you know it's gonna, it's. So I recently rewatched The Martian. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
With
Good
Matt
movie.
Damon.
Really good movie.
Really, really good. And at the end of it, when I was watching it, I'm like, I know I'm pretty sure this is going to have a happy ending, but my heart was still pounding, and I was still kind of like, oh my gosh, is he going to make it? Are they going to get him in the end? And I had the same feeling when I watched the final episode of this. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's all going to work out okay, but it was still suspenseful enough for me. And that's quite rare, I feel, because a lot of times when you're watching shows or films, you know it's going to work out okay.
Apart from with Game of Thrones.
Well, but with Game of Thrones, you're expecting it to not work out okay. Whereas, and when it does work out, you're like, oh, that was a nice surprise. Whereas
I did have the belief that any one of them could die.
Yes, yeah, or something could go horribly wrong, because you know it's the final episode. You know they've got a third one. Are they going to leave it on a cliffhanger? How they're going to do it is, whatever. And it was just really well timed, really well edited. Like, and that bit where Elle is just facing the massive hole in the dimension, and then you see
it reaches out to her.
Yeah, and you see the silhouette as well to start with, and you're like, oh shit, this thing is huge.
Yeah.
Like, it was really good. Really, really good. What do we think? Yeah, so there was Dart. That starts off as the nice little guy, and then you have the little throwback at the end when they're in the tunnels.
It seems weird that he would have different markings to the rest of them, though, as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but wasn't he the one? I presume that, I suppose that was indicated that he was the one that was put down the sink.
Yeah, that's what.
So maybe that's why he had a mark, because he didn't just come through the.
Because he grew on Earth, and obviously had light shining on him and stuff as well.
Well, that's what I was saying. When he initially goes into Dustin's tank, he's got like the lights shining down on him.
Yeah, that might have been what it was.
Something like that.
So that was good. The bit where the
eats the cat.
Where eats the cat.
Fucking like what?
The bits where the boys and Max are going, well, we're going to go and we'll have to create a diversion, so we're going to go and do this, and then like the what's his name? Steve is like, you're actually kidding. Like, no, we're not doing that. Yeah. We're staying here, and I just thought that was just brilliant. The kids are like, no, we've got to, because that's such a kid thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't see the danger. They've got no comprehension, even though they know it's bad. They're like, no, that's why would you even think that we wouldn't do it?
They've always done it.
It's just it's just one big adventure. So I just thought, brilliant. Any other moments that you guys that stood out for you? That you what did you think to the interrogation scene?
Oh, that was clever.
I thought it was good, but I felt there was like half an episode build up to what amounted to like 2 questions or something, and then that was it. Like, they spent ages doing up the
shed. I was just thinking the entire time, why didn't they just blindfold him?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, but that makes sense, doesn't it?
Several times. Like, they're going to do all of this, and then they're going to sit him down. They're going to tie him up, and then they're going to go, Why don't we just blindfold him?
That would have made
that would have been hilarious. Someone said that though as well. We'll just put a bag over his head.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
But no, I thought that that whole thing was pretty well done though.
Was the Morse code maybe you can answer this a bit better, but was that a throwback? Was that in the first series? Did the kids know Morse code at any point?
No, the only part that involves Morse code, to my knowledge, is Hopper does it with Elle.
With Elle, yeah.
And that's how he understands
it. So where does Will learn it from?
Them being like sciencey, like nerdy AV kids, like
maybe they just know it. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, okay.
Especially
that was just a bit of a disconnect for me. It was like
I get what you mean, because I didn't remember them having any kind of Morse code in the first one.
And then suddenly they know it. Also, but the other boys didn't, because they had to use the translation. But Will knew it. Will knew it enough to tap it out while being taken over. I don't know. It was a bit. But I mean, it
seems fine for me. Like,
I'm really nitpicking, because it was.
But if that's the only thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Then it's good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, I mean, anything else? Anything else that you want to speak about that you enjoyed about the series? So they're obviously they have already saying definitely they're doing a 3rd season.
Yeah, they said 3 or 4, didn't they?
3 or 4, possibly a 5th, but that's kind of that's as far as they are going to go.
I'm very interested to see the longevity of it.
And then obviously that means that the kids are going to be 17, 18 by the time they finish it.
Yeah, that's obviously why they said that they can't go on forever.
And they also said that as well, which I thought was really good. And again, it just shows their awareness of the story that they're telling. They've said that, we couldn't really do any more because how much stuff can happen to a town without people realising that something's going on.
Yeah.
And I thought that's really good because you see
then you get the whole Buffy issue,
that's it. That's what they said. And it's like, you have to keep upping the stakes. And actually...
And then you go, yeah, no, they're in hell.
They're actually, that's it. Yeah. So I... Obviously...
Whilst I don't necessarily know if it'll work, but I want them all to go to the Upside Down. In the next
I
series.
think that's
at least for an episode or two.
I think that's probably going to happen for sure. Yeah.
I thought that was really going to happen in the series that I want to see happen in a further series is like, I thought from the trailer that there was going to be a lot of conflict and them in the Upside Down. I really felt that from the trailer, but it didn't happen, and I was like, "Oh, well."
Yeah, there was. In fact, it was barely touched on actually.
Exactly,
because it was more the Upside Down coming into the real world, wasn't it?
Because there was still a breach, wasn't there?
That's right. So, yeah.
And now that there's no breach. There's
the gate, the one in the lab, the original.
No,
one.
Now there's no breach.
Now there's
now it's been completely closed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Except for maybe the one in the school, which is the one that Elle opens up when she comes out. So I wonder if they're going to because that was just completely forgotten about.
Yeah. Maybe the tunnels. There could be something to do with the tunnels.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see what they do.
What happens with the tunnels? Do the tunnels just close up, or do the tunnels?
I guess in the tunnels.
No, everything just died inside it. And there's just going to be holes underground.
So just
holes.
Okay,
but there is that tunnel that Elle escaped from.
You know what would be cool in the third one, if there's shit happening all over the town, so they can't be on the top level, so they have to use the tunnels to get through to different places.
Ah, yeah,
that could be something they could use.
Be like last time we were here.
Duffer Brothers, if you're thinking of things for season 3, I already work for Netflix.
I was going to say,
just give me a shout on the company,
the
internal.
Just send me an internal mail.
What's your extension, David?
Yeah, I'm not telling you that. 666.
There we go. And I suppose there was one subplot which I thought was perhaps possibly the weakest of them all. That was the Barb.
Barb's parents.
I like the fact that it wasn't forgotten about. Actually, the Barb's parents I thought was very good.
Yeah.
And I thought that just reeks of desperation. And that was brilliant. And the scene where they're having the KFC was just brilliant.
Great, yeah.
But no, was the reporter.
Murray, the investigator.
Up until the last episode, and right at the end of the last episode, I kind of agree with you. But when it kind of showed that, and then kind of brought everything together.
And he's sitting outside the lab, and he's like, "Go away," or whatever.
And the fact that he knew that he couldn't just go, "Okay, yeah, we're just going to send the tape off to everyone," because no one's going to believe it.
Sure,
we need to water it down.
Yeah, that's true. I just didn't think much of his character. He just kind of came out of nowhere, but it was good. There's lots of the internet campaigners are relieved that Barb finally has some justice, which is good. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice that they're tying up those storylines. And I don't think there are any either. I don't think there's any kind of loose ends or outstanding storylines or anything that were kind of like, really, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, other than Billy, the Red Ranger, to an extent, all he did was get drugged, and then he's not going to remember her trying to hit him in the nuts with a baseball bat.
Well, there's a nod to that at one point, isn't there?
Yeah, there's that moment, isn't there, where they're the very end.
Yeah, he acknowledges the fact that he can't be a dickhead to her anymore.
Yeah,
but
which I just think
still
the thing is, his dad is still an asshole to him.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
I thought that maybe Billy and Steve were going to team up at one point as well. When they came rushing around, I thought maybe one of the Demodogs was going to come through the.
That's that's possibly a season 3 bit. I think. Yeah,
I don't want this sort of core character base to expand any further though, because I feel like, especially now, they have quite a lot of characters to sort of wrangle in any given situation.
Well, apparently Lucas's sister. The one that's always teasing him, when he's in the mirror and stuff. Apparently she's going to have a bigger role in the third. She's already signed on for the third one, so they've already said that. So I think they will just keep with what they've got, and then just start expanding out their stories. I mean, as I say, they're kids. They're now teenagers. So you've got the whole teenager.
That's what thematically
to go through
is going to happen.
Yeah,
and they're going to go through the
coming of age and
all their voices are slowly breaking through the.
I think didn't Dustin's break halfway through the first series or
Yeah,
something
I
like
think so,
that.
yeah.
There was, then they had to go back and do some ADR with it.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because they couldn't do it properly because his voice had
And I
broken,
remember
yeah.
again listening to an interview with one of the brothers going, "Yeah, like we turned up at set one day and he was like, all like, so they had to like kind of go back and
Oh,
re-record
It's like
everything."
Harry Potter 3.
Yeah, no, basically, yeah. Brilliant. So obviously we're excited for a season 3. It's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Do you think that they the thing is with these is they have to turn them out every year because the kids are growing up, so we can't really have a 18-month or even a 2-year gap. Do you think they'll still be able to keep the quality going on a 12-month turnaround?
Season 2 is normally the turnaround point where, like, if they aren't able, because obviously with season 1 they have a lot more time to get it up and ready and done and post-production and everything like that. So season 2 is normally the rushed one, and it's normally the worst of the seasons.
Yeah.
So I think it's on for a good roll, and they obviously know where they want to go with it. They've already got stories in mind.
That's
so
it. Yeah.
They're not just like rushing through episodes to get the paycheck.
And I think as well, you know, with Netflix as well, there's very little studio involvement. They're not going.
Yeah, that's what they said as well in the interview, that they only speak to 3 people in Netflix.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So they're left to do what they need to do,
and they're not gonna mess with it now. It's had 2 good seasons, you know, it's, you know, it's good.
That'd be the wrong move.
Yeah, and I think that they've got the right mindset for a show like this. They know what they're doing. They, you know, from what I've listened to them on podcasts or read about them and stuff, they kind of feel like they know what they're doing.
And they've definitely, I mean, if they hadn't found their feet in the first season, they've definitely got it now. They're on to a winner. They've got the good formula. They just need to, as they said, they need to make sure that the third series is like the first 2, enough for people to enjoy it, but not too different that people. But then, having said that, for me anyway, personally, if they went off and did a different genre or a different whatever, I'd still love it because it would still be good. But I think in order for it to continue being successful, they need to.
Is there any messages you want me to pass on to them?
Just don't fuck it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up, Duffer Brothers.
All right, yeah.
So there we go. So that was Stranger Things season 2, or Stranger Things 2, as it was called, as I say. I wonder what they're going to call the third one. Stranger Things 3.
Stranger Things 3 with Roman numerals.
Stranger Things. Or Stranger Things.
Strangest Things.
Even more Stranger Things. Ooh, no, that's terrible. I don't even know. Don't write that down. Don't pass that on to Netflix.
They're going to listen to this.
Yeah, sure.
It's called More Stranger Things.
More Stranger Things. Yeah, I can see that. Anyway, so very good. If you haven't seen it, definitely go and watch it. But don't forget to watch the first series first, because otherwise
you'll be confused.
Well, I think. Yeah, you probably would. You would be confused.
Almost definitely. Don't watch it in reverse order, is what I'd say.
So there we go. So what's No, don't. No, that would just. No, Jesus.
This is one show not to watch in reverse order.
I don't even know what
of all the shows that you shouldn't watch,
I mean, do
back
you
to
watch
front.
it completely reverse, or like, how do you do that?
I don't think
What you mean, like playing it backwards?
Playing it backwards.
So
Maybe
you,
it's got
listen
some
to them
from
talking
literally-
backwards as well?
Yeah.
Maybe if you do,
Okay,
it's got
right.
some. Maybe it's a different show. If
Probably.
you play it backwards.
You play it backwards. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's clever. That's good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, that was really clever.
Anyway, so let's move on to what we've
Plays
been.
a Princess Bride if you play it backwards.
Wow, that would be impressive. Let's move on to what we've been talking. What we've been talking? No, what we've been watching.
What we've been talking
reading,
about, Martin?
playing,
What have you been talking about?
having.
What have we been talking about?
What we've been doing this week. Who would like to start?
I can start if you want.
Start.
I've been playing Super Mario Odyssey.
Superman. Oh, this is the one with the hats.
Yep, he throws a hat, he possesses things, including a T-Rex.
Okay.
It's kind of the
Did we talk
gimmick
about this
of that.
last time? I can't remember. I
No.
swear I've
No,
had a
it came out on
conversation.
Monday, didn't it? Or Tuesday?
It came out on Friday, but I actually received it on Monday.
Ah,
So I wasn't
Because
playing
I know
it.
Daryl took a day off work.
Daryl, yeah, he took
really?
it.
Someone
He took a day off work
to
to
play Mario.
play Mario. Yeah.
Wow.
He
Okay.
said that he wasn't doing that to me, so Daryl, I know, I'm on to you, mate. I'm on to you.
To be fair, I've taken time off work to play games as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
So
I've
Never
Oh,
done
wow.
that.
yeah, I wish I had holiday to take to carry on playing
I
Destiny.
wish I had
But
more,
I've
yeah.
had so much time off this month. I really
Yeah.
can't take any
Calling
more.
sick.
But... Yeah, but now everyone
Now
will
it's
know.
incriminating.
Maybe I'll just eat something bad just to make myself
Deliberately
sick.
make yourself ill.
But not too ill that I still can't play games.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's a fine line.
But anyway, Mario
But
Odyssey.
yeah, it's a very good game. Very well designed Mario game.
Is it
it's
back to Mario?
back to 3D Mario,
Yeah.
a la Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 64 kind
Sure.
of take
Yeah.
on it. It's really good. It's really good. It's jam-packed full of stuff to do. It's got about 9 or 10 hours in the main sort of story of it, which is quite short. But
I was going to say, is that
I mean,
it?
yeah, if for people who just want to go and play that stuff in Mario, they'll get quite a lot out of that because there's the sort of core challenge and the core story of it is, is good.
Yeah, but for a Mario game, that strikes me as quite short.
But that's where the post game comes.
Isn't
in.
it like it's like a 40 gig game or something like that, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no,
it's
It
too
takes up
big.
more space for the Switch.
Yeah, you can't actually
You have to buy
download
memory
it.
cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Some games you definitely need an SD card to.
Yes,
I think some of the third-party games are more like that. But I just get it on the cartridge because I like physical things.
Because you're old school.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Yeah. It's very good. It's very good. After you finish the main game, that's where a lot of the content comes in. Though you can go back because basically it's like Super Mario 64. There's certain amounts of power moons you can get in a level, and those sort of progress the story. But
and different hats, presumably as well.
You can get different hats and different costumes. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. You get coins to buy different costumes. So there's so much to go back and do. And I've realised now, after I've ended the game, there's like these cubes in the worlds you can sort of hit, and then they unlock even more stuff to unlock and go back and get, and different challenges and all this stuff. And the difficulty of that, like post-game stuff, is much better than it's a better challenge. I would say that the main game is kind of easy, but it's
not necessarily for the main game. It's for everything else that comes after
for the
it.
people who want that extra challenge, they
Sure.
will be going to do that stuff. So that is really there, and I
think the last Mario game I played was Mario 64. So that was a long time ago.
Attribute one of the costumes is literally like polygonal graphics.
Oh really?
Mario 64.
That's cool. I like that. That's
Yeah.
good.
Nice. But yeah, I've been playing that. I've been playing another game called This Is the Police.
This is the police.
It's
this is where you
Chief of Police.
That's right. Yeah, there's been on the PC for ages, and you
now
have
it's
to.
on the Switch.
Yeah, and you assign police, and some of them are some of them are bent and
some of them are like alcoholics, and you basically at the start of the shift you like assign your 2 shifts.
That's it. Yeah,
and you've got to like sort of say, oh, you'll do this, you'll do this. You've got to respond to calls and tell who to go out to what. And then it's like, I think it's set like a while back, but there's stuff like you're sort of in communication with the town hall, so the mayor, and then like this crime syndicate.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to keep both of them happy, and there's stuff like town halls like, oh, racial tensions are mounting. I want all your black cops fired. And you have to like go about doing that. Like you can fire them, or you can like bring them and make them basically misconduct and then fire them on that grounds.
Yeah.
Or you can illegally fire them and then they put a lawsuit against you.
Right.
It's really cool. Like the actual core gameplay is really cool, and then there's like a story outside of that, and it's sort of been bringing in all these different.
Yeah, I've seen lots of YouTubers play it. Well, obviously the PC version and stuff.
Very good game. Very good game. Very very much enjoying that. It's very like Orwell-y. Remember?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, no, I remember that one game we played once.
We played once,
which I've never played again.
It
since.
seems like it's got more of a story than that game did, but really enjoying that. Yeah.
Good.
What about you, David?
I watched a movie called Wheelman. Wheelman. Oh, I've seen that I've seen that on the Netflix.
Yeah.
And I didn't click on it, but yeah, is it good?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite a simple movie. Basically, Frank Grillo plays a driver, like a getaway driver that he gets hired out for, and you find out more about his character as you go along as well. And it basically turns out like when he's doing a job, he gets a phone call and he gets told to leave the people behind but take the money. And then like shit kind of goes on from there. But it's really good. Have you ever seen I can't remember the name of the movie that Tom Hardy's in, where it's just him in a car.
Him in a car?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe, but I
it's just kind of like an action version of that.
Okay.
Because that's just more about some.
I think I didn't click on it because I saw it and I was like, well, that's about a getaway driver. And after watching Baby Driver, I just don't know if I could watch another getaway film. Because it probably just wouldn't be as good. But then I'm judging on the film.
It's a good film. You know, I watched it on the plane on the way. Where I just downloaded it to the tablet.
Sure.
Yeah, and I also started watching Flash again. Partway into season 3 now. But then I realised that I can't keep watching that because it was on Greek Netflix and not English Netflix.
Oh yes, I remember you saying at the pub. Yeah,
and I don't think I can download stuff to my tablet through Now TV. So.
Is it on Now TV?
It's on Now TV.
Can't you just watch it at home?
I mean,
you have Now TV.
Technically, I can, but I'd probably get ignored I guess.
Right, okay.
So
Sure.
because she doesn't like Flash.
Okay.
So,
All right.
what else did I start watching? I watched a few episodes of Peaky Blinders on the plane as well, which is
Yeah,
quite
apparently it's just entered its final series as well. That's with Killian. I don't know the part of the second part of that or the first part of that.
surname's Murphy.
Killian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, there you
and the guy that you just mentioned,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. There we
Yep.
go. Yeah. And it's produced by Tom Hardy as well, or something, or Tom Hardy's
possibly, yeah.
father, or something like that. Anyway, apparently it's very good.
Yeah, I mean it's supposed to be really good.
in 1920s.
I think it's just after the war.
Or is it? Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, just after World War One.
Yeah, one
Yes.
of the two.
I'm sure
I
it's
only watched like an episode. And
I'm
a
sure
half.
it's 1920s. It's London, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be very good. A bit brutal, apparently.
Yeah, the first episode was really good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think it's one that I'd probably have to watch because it's quite dark and grim.
Yeah.
So
sure.
that's kind of why I stopped watching it on the tablet.
Sometimes it's nice to have a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
something a
wanted to
bit
find
light.
something that's a bit lighter. So that's
Yeah.
why I started watching Flash. What else I started watching? I watched the first episode of Narcos again.
First ever
series
episode.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Did
was
I
watching it on the plane and fell asleep. So I stopped
did I
watching
tell
that.
you? So when we went to Prague a few weeks ago, I downloaded a whole load of stuff from Netflix as well, and including what I thought was the first episode of season 3 of Narcos. So we got onto the plane, we got settled in, pressed play, started watching it. I went, this is a bit familiar. And of course, I downloaded the first ever episode of
Amazing.
Narcos.
That is incredible.
So it was like, oh, okay. Well, that's our hours of entertainment just gone then. Great.
I mean, watch it again.
Yeah,
maybe.
no. Well, I started doing it. We was like, no, we can't do this.
Yeah,
because
fair enough.
yeah. So yeah, but yeah, Narcos is good. I still haven't seen season 3. Actually, I have to say.
I still haven't seen episode 2.
No,
so.
sure. I've got so much to watch. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I've mainly this week I've just been playing some games. I finally got Destiny 2. And I've fallen in love with it straight away.
Yeah.
You really enjoyed the beta when it came out as well.
I did, yeah. And I'm thinking about playing it now. I'm thinking about after we finish recording here, when can I play it? And I've just, and the thing is, like, so for me, and I was telling Martin about this while you were recording before we started recording this, is that I didn't really know what it was. Like, I understood that people, like, it was a first person shooter and like it had a single player game and that you did raids. But I didn't realise that it was effectively an MMO. I didn't realise that when you were running around in the world, that you saw other people running around in the world.
Yeah.
And that, like, when you're shooting a bad guy, a random guy can just come over and start helping you shoot that bad guy. And then
it's
and
like
all of
a
that.
hub.
It's a shared world.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So I'm playing it yesterday and I get to the point, because it's all single player up to a certain point, and I'm in the hub and I'm thinking, okay, this is the hub. Oh, this is quite cool to see all the people running around, and it's like back to my MMO days. And then I jump into a single player mission and I'm running around and I see other people running past me and I'm going to talk to the same guy I'm talking to. And then like an event happens and we all start shooting the bad guys as they're landing. And my mind, I was literally just going, this is fucking cool.
That's
like,
incredible. You had no idea that's what it was.
No, because this is the thing. I didn't realise it was that. I knew, as I say, I knew it had elements, because everyone was like, oh, well, it's got elements of an MMO. And I was like, well, that's obviously the raids. That's the shared raids where you go in and do the shared missions.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise it was a shared world. And my mind just got blown. And then I just played it for like 8 hours straight. And then the girlfriend went to bed early, and then I played it for another 4 hours, and it's incredible. And the it's all about loot. So as you go on, it's all about getting better gear.
You still get those ingots.
Yeah, we just did everything in a bit of, and it's like you get some boots which are like 3 power higher than the boots you've got, and I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with the collection of loot already, and I've only played it for 12 hours or something.
The weapons as well.
And the thing is, because it's a Bungie game, because it is very Halo-esque. Like, there is no argument that they know how to do a first-person shooter. Like, the gunplay is so satisfying. Getting headshots, and when you get a headshot, or like every enemy's got like a weak point, and for most of them it's the head. So when you shoot them in either the weak point or the head, they will explode, and they'll have a little animation, and it's the most satisfying thing when you've got a horde of people coming towards you, and you just gun them down, moving your cursor left and right, just popping their heads.
Does it remind you of playing Halo?
Yes.
Obviously, when you
Yes.
headshots on Halo are always really satisfying as well.
It is.
That's the
Yeah, no, it
exact
is.
thing,
It
yeah.
is exactly the same. And then when you go online as well, I've had to play some of the PvP stuff online for a mission, and that's all really satisfying as well.
Crucible.
I suck, but it's
Yeah.
still fun because it's so good.
I mean, in the first game, it very much felt like with the PvP stuff that you kind of there is a dominant class and there is a dominant way to play that PvP. But I mean, how's that?
Well, I didn't find that, but then I've only played like literally 4 games because I had to do 2 casual and 2 competitive for a mission,
yeah.
and then I'm because I'm just doing the single player stuff first, then I'm going out and doing everything else.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, but what I love about it is because that's what I thought. I thought the game was a single player story, these multiplayer raids, and then the PvP element. That's what I thought the game was. And to see it and go, oh wait, no, you don't have to do this PvP if you don't want to. That's just an add-on, which is awesome. And actually, no, the rest of it is this and this, and then there's this whole other game that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, to do the single player stuff as a party as well is pretty fulfilling. It's very Halo-esque.
And as I said to both of you, I'm probably going to have to find making some internet friends to do it because I can already see myself becoming obsessed with this.
Yeah.
And there's an expansion coming out in December, and then I'm probably going to pick up the season pass on payday because I'm just already. So we'll see if I'm still playing it as much as I think I'm going to be in the next couple of months. I'm probably never going to play another game for a very long time.
You do some videos in it?
Well, possibly, maybe, but I've got I don't think my PC can handle recording them properly. I mean, I don't know. I need to look into it, but maybe. But then I don't know what content to do if I were to make a video because there are so many better people out there making Destiny content. And also, it's just flooded with Destiny content as well.
Yeah,
so,
right now.
So I don't know. I will probably do a Mr. Cincinnati's thoughts on it, just because I just want to tell everyone how blown my mind was when I suddenly was like, oh yeah, shit, oh my gosh, no, wow. And I spent like an hour going around getting just really confused, going like, I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Is this? Why are they doing this? What's going? And then, as it slowly dawned on me what the game was, I was like, that was just like, wow.
It's a pretty beautiful moment.
It really was. It doesn't happen that often with a game, and for the fact it did. And it's like when you spend, because the game was $48 or $48.99 or something like that, and I'm like, am I going to get that much money out of it? Is it worth that much money?
One of those, I think it's one of those games that you will keep going with, but then there's the DLC that will be eventually
which will be more. Yeah, well, that's true. But I was when I played it this week, because I only played the first 2 hours, I was like, have I made a mistake? Have I just wasted 50 quid? And now I'm like, holy shit, they're giving this to me for 50 quid?
Yeah.
Like, it's a
50 quid.
bargain. But then you're right. But then the problem is that the DLC is going to come out. That's going to be 20 quid a pop or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you get how much is the season pass?
I don't.
That includes all the.
Yeah, I need to look into it because I don't know yet. So, but as I say, I've only just like I just need more time now. Now I just need more time to play it. But oh well. Anyway, story of my life. So yeah, so there we go. That's what I've been doing. I have been doing nothing else. So yeah. So that's pretty much the podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have anything else to add.
I don't think so. No, I think we covered everything.
What are we going to talk about next week? I was just suddenly
Isn't
realised
it
we didn't
Punisher
talk about
next
this. Is it? No, I don't think that's out just yet. I think that's the week after.
17. 11?
We could talk about Thor coming November the 17th. Yeah, so that's 17th. In 2 weeks' time we've got that. So what are we going to do for what are we going to do for next week?
We will come back to you on that one. I don't know, what are you thinking?
Thor, maybe we'll talk about Thor. That gives us a week to see it. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You guys have seen it though, haven't you?
I have.
I didn't go and see it. No, I was going to see it yesterday, and then I was going to play. Then I started playing Destiny. So
yeah. I don't think any of us seen it, have we?
You guys are going to have to.
Seen it yet.
You guys are going to have to wind up the podcast today because I've locked my girlfriend out of the house.
Oh, okay.
So this has been the podcast. Thank you very much, and I'll leave it to David and Martin to finish it off.
You're trusting us with this?
I am.
Wow.
So what do you want to talk about, Martin?
Well,
we can go on for another 20 minutes if you want.
This is the extra podcast. The late night show with David and Martin.
David and Martin.
The drive time show.
Drive time show.
Don't you love it when you lock your girlfriend out?
No, I've never done that.
You don't deliberately
No,
do
because
that?
I'm a good boy. Oh, I'm a husband. I'm not a girlfriend. I'm not a girlfriend.
Even less so.
Oh, amazing, incredible. Should we just say goodbye?
Yeah, I think that's a good point to leave it.
So,
Yeah.
Well done. All right, thanks very much, guys.
Cheers.
It's goodbye from Sinn. It's goodbye from Sinn. I filled in his bit and my bit.
And goodbye from Sinn. Catch us on Twitter, like and subscribe.
Oh yeah,
please.
this is Sin Cinny for Sin, Marto TGS for Martin,
Marto
David TGS for David. You got Facebook. You got YouTube as well.
YouTube.
There's going to be some Broforce coming out soon. You can see me suck at that game.
More Hat in Time. Please keep watching that because it's great.
This is why we let Sin do this kind of thing.
Oh god, yeah. Well, it's goodbye from me, Mr. Sin Cinny. Did I do good?
Yeah, that was amazing. That was incredible.
My voice isn't deep enough. I'm sorry.
So how does it go? How does it go?
Well, I can do the intro.
No. So it's goodbye from me, Mr. Sin Cinny.
It's goodbye from. It's goodbye from. I need to really sit.
What makes us funnier now is now Sin's back in the room as well.
We're doing impressions of you.
We're still not finished the podcast.
No, we've still not finished it.
No, I'm doing my impression of you.
Oh, okay, all right, let's go.
It's goodbye from me, Mr. Sin City.
Do you want to end it?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, go for it.
It's right. Okay, this is the podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's the only thing to say is it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from Sin.
It's goodbye from Sin.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.